Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really remarkable set of ancient instructions. This is basically a detailed guide for building an entire, beautiful world right inside your own mind. So, right from the get-go, our source starts with this incredible promise from the Buddha. This isn't just some abstract philosophy, It's being presented as a direct method, a practical, hands-on technique to fundamentally change your experience of the world. But this amazing instruction, it didn't just appear out of thin air. It was actually a direct answer to a very specific, and I mean very important question. The story goes that Queen Vaidehī is giving this absolutely spectacular vision. But here's the amazing part. Instead of just keeping this profound experience to herself, her first thought is about other people, about all of us really living in the future.
And that's her question, you see? It's the key that unlocks this whole entire process. She's asking for a universal guide, a set of instructions that anybody, at any time, could use to get to that same state of clarity and vision.
So how does the Buddha answer? Well, he doesn't start with a person or a figure. He starts with a foundation. He tells the listener to mentally build an impossibly beautiful and intricate lotus flower. Okay, let's really get into this. The whole visualization starts from the ground up. First, you have to imagine a base made of 7 different kinds of jewels. Then, on top of that ground, the shape of a lotus flower starts to form. And get this, each petal isn't just one color. It shines with a light of 100 different jewels. The scale here is just staggering. And you're going to hear this number pop up again and again. 84,000. Here, it's the number of veins you're supposed to imagine on every single petal, each one as detailed as a celestial painting. And it doesn't even stop there. From each of those tiny, tiny veins, a torrent of light bursts out, 84,000 rays from each one. And the instruction is really specific. Every single detail, every last ray of light has to be seen perfectly and clearly in your mind's eye. No fuzziness allowed. And just to give you a sense of the cosmic scale we're talking about, the text says that even the smallest petals are 250 yojanas wide. A yojana is an old unit of distance. Think somewhere around 5 to 9 miles. So we're talking about single flower petals that are literally thousands of miles wide. And the whole flower has 84,000 of these massive petals. It's just wild.
And the detail just keeps on layering. Between each of these giant petals, you've got 10 billion Mani jewel kings. And these jewels, of course, shoot out their own light, which all weaves together to form this huge canopy of light that covers the entire jeweled ground we started with. All right, let's move to the next layer and see how this thing keeps growing. That spectacular lotus flower we just built, that now becomes the base for an even more elaborate structure, the throne itself. So the platform, the base of this throne, is described as a masterpiece of divine materials. The text lists all these specific mythical jewels, Vimalamani, Vajra Kimsuka, Brahmamani, and they're all woven together with nets of beautiful pearls. It's like a tapestry made of pure light and gems. And then, just like that, out of this ridiculously ornate base, 4 immense jeweled pillars just appear. They aren't built. They simply arise out of the structure itself, spontaneously. And how tall are they? Well, the text basically runs out of words to describe it. It says they are like hundreds of thousands of millions of Mount Sumeru. And remember, Mount Sumeru is the mythical mountain at the very center of the Buddhist cosmos. So we're talking about a scale that is truly beyond any human comprehension. This chart does a great job of showing the cascade of creation that happens next. You see, it's a chain reaction. The pillars get topped with canopies. The canopies are covered in jewels. The jewels shoot out light. That light splits into countless golden colors. And then those colors spread out and transform into new, dynamic forms all over the landscape. It's like a waterfall of cosmic splendor. So, here's the main takeaway. This entire unbelievably elaborate mental construction, from that first jeweled ground all the way up to the cascading light, it all forms a single united practice. And this is what the text calls the Seventh Contemplation, the contemplation of the flower seat. But what's the point of all this, right? Why construct such an insanely complex image in your mind? Well, the text is very clear that this is not just some exercise in imagination.
It has a very real and very profound purpose and power. We're told this vision isn't arbitrary at all. Its very structure is the physical manifestation of ancient vows made by a bodhisattva, a monk named Dharmakara, who basically pledged to create a perfect realm to help every single being achieve enlightenment.
And I love this part because it gives a really clear benchmark for success. The text makes a big distinction between correct and incorrect contemplation. To do it correctly, every single tiny detail has to be seen distinctly, with the same exact clarity as seeing your own face in a mirror. Anything else, anything muddled or distracted or incomplete, that's considered incorrect.
And the result of actually achieving this state of mirror-like focus? It's extraordinary. The text promises that it will eliminate the negative karma you've accumulated over 500 billion kalpas. Now, a kalpa is an unimaginably long period of time. Sometimes it's described as longer than it would take to wear away a giant mountain by just brushing it with a piece of silk once every 100 years. So, yeah, it's a lot. And this is it, the final takeaway, the ultimate purpose of this whole mental exercise. By successfully completing this contemplation, the practitioner is guaranteed rebirth in what's called the land of utmost bliss, that perfect realm created by those ancient vows. This ancient text gives us a powerful and very specific answer. It frames imagination not as just fantasy or daydreaming, but as a transformative tool that is capable of purifying the mind and literally reshaping one's destiny. Which kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? How might that kind of focused mental creation shape our own reality?